You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. What a day. What a day. I'm pointing at you, chat. Hello, everybody. You all look so wonderful tonight. It's been a beautiful day. And we're here. We made it, boys. We made it. Oh my God, that trailer was insane. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to address the leaks. I know that's a big talk right now, and I read through the leak again because I hadn't read it since I did the video, and it was interesting. I read it about 3 or 4 more times, and every time I read it, I went back and I watched the trailer, and I came to a conclusion that I feel strongly that it's an actual trailer leak. I don't think it's a plot leak, because most of what he got right is in the trailer. Everything else that we're questioning is stuff that wasn't in the trailer and stuff that we're indeed questioning. For example, Godzilla eating Ghidorah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, that's a little out there. It's something we're not expecting. And the other thing is just if you read it and summarize it, it looks like the guy might have had a scoop or had an early look at the trailer and decided to have a little bit of fun. Because obviously the way he wrote it, he was trying to be funny. And there's still other questions. Like in the leak, he mentions how Millie Bobby Brown, obviously the daughter, was basically on board with her mom. You know, basically believed what her mom believed. I didn't get that impression from her in this trailer. Now, granted, the scene where she says, "You're a monster," and then Vera says, "I'm sorry," those, I believe, are 2 different scenes. If you go back and watch them, the lighting is very different. You know what I mean? And we see this happen a lot in trailers where they make things look like they're connected and in fact they're not connected at all. That's not to say that she's not saying that to her mom. She could be saying it to her mom, maybe in a completely different scene. But I don't get the idea from her right now that she's on board with her mother. So that's one thing. The other thing is, if you go back, read the leaks and look at the trailer. It's almost hand in hand, minus all the other stuff. So that tells me I think it's more of a trailer leak than a plot leak. I don't think it's a plot leak because much of the plot's not there. Pretty much what's there is what you got in the trailer. If you go back and read it, what you got on that leak was in the trailer, minus the other stuff like the Godzilla and whoever frees Mothra, which is another reason I have my doubts that it's an official plot leak as opposed to maybe a trailer leak, because on 2 different occasions, on one occasion he said Vera was the one that freed Mothra, and then he said that the terrorists are the ones that freed Mothra. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But that's all I really got to say about that. Obviously, now we look at it, and there is, you know, connections there, but there's still a lot of questions because there's still a lot of discrepancies in his description. But what he does get right, everything that he gets right in that leak is in the trailer. So I think it's a trailer leak. I don't think it's a plot leak. So, and I think he was having fun throwing other things in, because I've seen plot leaks before and they're usually more extensive and have a little bit more detail than that. That was two very, like four, that was like 4 paragraphs, and I would say about 70% of it was in the trailer, and then the other 30% to me looks like he's having fun. So, but if you don't know what I mean, go look at the trailer and then read the leak, and you'll see what I mean. It's very, very tied into the trailer. So, okay. Other things I want to talk about regarding, because I see a lot of questions as to whether when Millie Bobby Brown was in front of Mothra, was that larva or was that full-fledged? That was larva Mothra. It's easy to tell. If you go back and look at the trailer, instead of paying attention to the face and to Millie Bobby Brown, just look down to the lower right, and for about a good second, as Mothra is moving forward, you can see the little legs coming out. Keyword early, they show early shit so they can fix it. So my guess is that they're going to change it from the screening. Well, that's what okay, and once again, motherfucking dono. Thank you very much, Jacob Hopper, for the super chat. Yeah, and that's another thing, and me and Jacob spoke about this earlier. You know, I think what he saw versus what we're going to see are going to be two different things. Going back to the leak real quick. I don't think we're going to... I don't think a lot of the things that we're hearing and seeing, when you combine the two, the trailer and the leak, I think a lot of that's going to change. If you guys should know by now, if you've seen any Marvel trailer, any DC trailer, any trailer, especially ones that are full of action, what you see in an early trailer versus what you see in the theater are usually not hand in hand. So, you know, it's still a year. They can still do a lot of stuff to this movie before it comes out. So, because there's a lot of people also messaging me today, and this is another thing I want to get at. There's a lot of people messaging me being worried. Oh, I'm worried about the leak and how it looks so, you know, this and that. Don't worry about that stuff. Because that guy did make it sound bad, because I think he intentionally made it sound bad. He wrote it bad. It was comical what he wrote. Even if he's 100% right on everything he says, it's all about execution. And that's what I have to judge the movie on. But honestly, in my opinion, it to me looks like he got an early shot at the trailer, and that's what he's basing this plot leak off of. I don't think it's a plot leak. I think it's a trailer leak, and I feel fairly confident that that's what it is. So, yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, guys. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be a detriment on the movie. I mean, just look at how excited we all got watching this trailer. Does this look like a movie that's going to disappoint us right now? At the moment, no, it does not. Now, could it? Of course, there's always that possibility. But right now, I am not disappointed with what they gave us. I'm not disappointed in the direction, because a lot of the things that if you guys have been following me the last 4 years, if you remember my videos from back in the day, and even some of my more recent videos, a lot of the things I've always wished for in a Godzilla movie appears to be in this movie. Incredible destruction, there was incredible destruction in this trailer. You know, the Ghidorah thing is a dream come true to me, because I said, and I even told you guys, I think we'll see a silhouette of Ghidorah, and you do see a silhouette. There is a quick shot of him behind Millie Bobby Brown when she calls, or supposedly calls, her mother a monster, and her mother says, "I'm sorry," and they shoot back to Millie Bobby Brown. You pause it. You look, well, you guys should see, I have it up as my thumbnail. So that's the very picture. That's probably the best shot you're going to get of Ghidorah. And you see Ghidorah in the background outside, and he's like turning his head, and then his eyes are red, you know. So that's a really cool shot. And yeah, so I think that I mean, the trailer was great. So that is a Mothra larva, and then later on you see the end of her evolution. Once again, something he specifically mentioned in the leak. He mentioned that she evolves in a waterfall. That was shown in the trailer. Again, looks like all these elements lead me to believe that it's a trailer leak. That is not a plot leak. So the first shot you see of Millie Bobby Brown, that is larva Mothra. That's her in larva form. And then later on, we see her evolve into the full-fledged Mothra with the wings. If you pause that shot towards the end of it, when they're fully expanded, I haven't tried this yet, but somebody said that if you zoom in, you can see the face. You can see her face a lot better if you zoom in, if you take a screenshot and then, you know, magnify it. So, you know, I'm going to do that later to check it out. But it was a phenomenal trailer. It has all the elements I want in a movie. Rodan looks incredible. There is a quick shot of Rodan from the front, flying down, and you can't see his face in detail, but you can get an idea of what he looks like. And I gotta say, I think Matt called. I'm not to think that Matt Frank is a liar, but he said he had it on good authority that the maquette was legit. And while the cave painting, I was saying how his beak seemed a lot more curvier, or have a lot more curvature to it. In that particular shot, it looks almost exactly like the maquette in terms of the frame, the two horns or ears, whatever you want to call them, and then his beak is definitely on point. So I want to get a better shot, but I think the maquette was legit. It looks like that was legit. Based on what Matt said during the interview and based on that brief shot from the trailer, it looks like the maquette was legit. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. What else in the trailer? Obviously Godzilla. I mean, I'm not talking about him much right now because I was expecting to see him. They did some touch up on him. Definitely looks different. His spikes, dorsal fins rather, however you want to refer to them as, were definitely larger, and they're a little bit more in line with Toho. In Godzilla 2014, they look more like spikes. This time, they had a little bit more ridge to them, almost like the Toho Godzilla. It was actually, to me, looked like almost like a fusion of the two, because they weren't exaggerated like the Toho ones, where they really like hook, but they weren't straight spikes like before. They had those little curvatures in them, so I like that touch up. He looks almost more scaly. Like, it was weird. And he looks a little bulkier. Like, he looks a little bit more, you know what I mean? A little wider than he was before. But he looks good. And that shot of him blowing the atomic breath in the air when his eyes glowed blue, wow. I like that. It's a good touch. I like that. There was someone who asked me yesterday in the stream, I don't remember who it was, regarding his beam, and they asked me if we thought we would get a chance to see his red beam, and I said yeah. I said I think there might be a pretty good chance that we see that at the end. I don't think it's going to be a burning Godzilla thing. I just think it's going to be a power-up thing. I felt a little bit more confident about that watching the trailer, because in the trailer, when they show that shot that they used for the picture that was released almost 2 weeks ago now, believe it or not, you could see clearly there's a spiral around that ray. So I think there's an outside shot. We might see that. In regards to the other monsters, there was a shot in the trailer where it looked like, and I'm going to do a video on this, guys. Don't, because I tried using my screen share yesterday, and it didn't really work out too well, and I don't have all the shots I want. But a lot of people have been taking shots and putting them up on the Nation Facebook page. There was a clear shot of what seemed like a clear shot of either Rodan or Ghidorah, and it looks like they literally picked up a monster from the ground. It looked like another monster, not Godzilla. It wasn't Mothra or Godzilla or anyone. It just looked like a tiny monster. It would look like something that would be bigger than like a military tank, but small enough for Rodan to pick up. And it looked like he was holding something in his his foot or whatever. So I want to take a closer look at that. That looks unique, and if I can get a good shot of that, I'm going to put that up in my video. It's my opinion, but King Ghidorah looks like a mix between his original form crossed with that Ghidorah from Mothra, Rebirth of Mothra. Well, here's the other thing that makes me happy, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of purists, but they did go ahead and give Ghidorah wing arms. You can clearly see it at the end when he's got great mobility this time, and I like it. So at the end, you can see him bend his wings down. You could actually see like his arms, and then he flips them out. So I love that. That made me very happy, because I've been saying for the longest time they need to give Ghidorah more mobility, and they did. And that might piss some people off, but I don't give a shit because it makes me happy. Bottom line. So yeah, So that was something that made me very happy to see at the end. When he literally was moving in a way that he's never moved before by putting his arms down like this and then flapping his wings forward, that was awesome. Kind of like a bat. Like, you know, that made me happy. I was like, oh my God, this guy's got mobility. I love it. No, Alpha, I feel fairly certain that shot, she is in the larva form. In fact, I'm willing to bet my salary on it. That's how confident I am. In fact, let me pull it up right now. I'll tell you. I'm not going to play the audio because we don't want, we don't want to get in trouble now. But, we got to, I feel confident because I remember specifically seeing her little feet, her little caterpillar feet, if you will. So, why isn't this on my front page? I actually have to type this shit in. What is this? All right, well, bear with me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I'm going to pull that up and mute. Okay, it's on mute. Good. Okay, that. No, it's more in the beginning. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Let me supersize. So looking at the lower right. Yeah, you can see them. It's quick. You gotta be quick to look, but it's there. Oh yeah, definitely larva form. Definitely larva form. In fact, if you look at the scene even before that, you see the egg. Obviously, they made it look way different. Although the color scheme is very similar to Mothra versus Godzilla, that blue and yellow. Although here it's just the blue, it's the blue, but it's got like what looks to be stripes. They're not exactly stripes, but it's created in such a way where it looks very similar to the original egg in terms of like the stripes going down. So if you look at the scene right before Millie Bobby Brown touches or reaches out to Mothra, the egg is right there. The egg is right there. So it's definitely larva form. Yeah, it's definitely larva form. In fact, she even looks like she has a carcass. Look at me, a carapace like armor. Like a shell almost. Not that it makes sense for her to have one, but what I'm saying is, there's definitely no wing. I mean, look at those little feet. Look at those little feet. That looks so cute. Look at those little feet right there. Look at that. Yeah, there's no way. That's definitely larva. Definitely larva. Yeah, just go look at it a couple of times. You got to look closely. And like I said, even the scene before that, it's so obvious because they show the egg. So I'm assuming in that scene, Vera Farmiga's taking her daughter to go and watch the egg hatch. Maybe the egg's about to hatch, and then it comes out the egg, and that's where Millie Bobby Brown goes to reach out and say hi. Carapace, thank you, Steve. The part in the trailer where we see the girl and the kaiju behind the window, was that Ghidorah? That's Ghidorah. That was Ghidorah. And the way you know it's Ghidorah is, and again, it's quick. You got to slow it down. Believe me, I was dissecting this shit all day. What happens is, if you look at the head kind of turns like this. Before the head turns and you see the red eye, there's another head right next to it. And that's how you know it's Ghidorah. And plus the color of the skin is that darkish gold. It's not bright gold like the Ghidorah from Toho. It's gold, but it's like a very dirty gold. You know what I mean? It's almost like a dirty yellow, so to speak. That's the best way I can describe it. But it's clearly Ghidorah. Yeah, the smolder on his wings I thought was really cool. I really like that touch. And he's very dark. It was really tough to get a good shot of him, not only because he's flying around like a madman, but he's got, like they said, he's got like that charcoal skin. You know what I mean? So he's very dark. It's very hard to get a good shot of him. But there is that one shot where he's flying down, and I looked at it and I said, "Oh yeah, man, that looks exactly like the maquette." I'm like, so yeah, turns out that that was legit. Yeah, Fool's Gold Ghidorah. That's a perfect way to describe it, Scrapzilla. Yep. Very much like Kaiser Ghidorah, only more gold. You know what I mean? But it's a very dark, dirty gold color that he has. Yeah, Ghidorah he's a dirty boy. That's right. Rob, thoughts on King Ghidorah having a personality for each head and each making different sounds? That sounds fine to me. I always kind of thought of him having 3 different personalities with 3 heads. So to me, that's like nothing new. I never thought, you know, when you watch the Toho movies, I mean, obviously, you know, different time period and stuff like that. But I never felt like his 3 heads were all the same. I always thought they were just the movement alone would kind of give me the idea that they're all thinking from themselves. So, you know, Godzilla ain't eating Ghidorah. Get out of there. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's. I mean, to me, it's pretty. I mean, you know, if you guys want to believe it's a plot leak, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. But what I'm telling you is from my assessment, based on what I saw in the trailer and based on reading it again, it looks to me like the guy saw the trailer and decided to have fun with it. And he figured, since he knew a lot of what he was saying was gonna come to pass, he could throw in other stuff to make people believe that those things were gonna happen. That's exactly what it looks like to me right now, because he does get a lot of stuff right, but it's all in the trailer. It's not, you know, like the whole Godzilla. You know, we don't know about the whole Godzilla eating Ghidorah thing. Motherfucking dono, Danny Grant. Do you think Rodan will die against Ghidorah? I think Rodan will die. I just don't know against 2. All right, Rob Taylor, motherfucking dono. Thank you for the 5, Rob, my boy. Man, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Godzilla 98 over 2000. Oh, Roland Emmerich. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think any of the monsters are going to make it out alive, if you ask me. Because I know that's not what you want to hear, but, and it's only an opinion. I'm not saying like it's really going to happen, but I think, again, because we don't know where the future holds after Godzilla versus Kong, you know, we don't know if we're going to see these monsters again. This might be it, you know, so we'll see. I'll tell you one thing. If one of them, or if even one of them come out of this alive, I will feel more confident to think we're going to see a trailer. We're going to see another movie at some point. But if they all die, I'm going to be pretty convinced that after Godzilla vs. Kong, that's it. I predict the movie will end with the monsters ruling the earth, with the humans on the edge of extinction, leading into Gao, with them needing Kong to help reclaim Earth in a destroy all monsters way. Well, Nova Dragon, that is a fantastic dream. But you got to remember something. This is a PG-13 movie. It's got toys attached to it, and they want the kids there. You don't give a dreadful ending like that if you're showing it to kids. You just don't. Especially in this day and age of heavy liberalism. I don't see that happening. And Mike Doherty is a liberal. He's very, very open about that. So you don't expect any dreadful endings like that. That'd be a dope ending, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't expect it. But if he did it, man, I'd be happy. I would love an ending like that. Rob, would you like to see a Destroy All Monsters remake and be the MonsterVerse Infinity War? The geek in me says absolutely. Realistically, I don't think we're getting one. Well, let me not say I don't think we're getting one. I think anything we get, if we get anything after Kong, and I've said this a million times, so, you know, I know there's a lot of people here that are new and haven't heard me say this. So, I'm hoping everybody hears me now. I think anything we get after Kong versus Godzilla, we will only get it depending on how these 2 movies perform at the box office. And even then, I'm not 100% sure. But it all depends how the movies do at the box office. If the movies do well at the box office, then they know they have an audience and they can move forward. But here's the problem. They are blowing their load in this movie. They're blowing their load. You're basically taking 3 of the most popular kaiju in the Toho roster, and you're putting them in this movie. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to them. They may all die. They may all live. But as of right now, they're blowing their load. This is it. There's no other kaiju as epic as Ghidorah to fight Godzilla. And Ghidorah's not even my favorite villain. Mechagodzilla is my favorite villain, but we're not getting Mechagodzilla in this universe. That's just not happening. There's only a small amount of monsters that you could bring over from Toho now, and none of them surpass Ghidorah in terms of threat. And the way they've made this Ghidorah is incredible. Because if you're gonna make another movie with Godzilla fighting monsters or whatever outside of like King Kong, you have to go bigger than Ghidorah, and you can't do that. This is it. No other monster is gonna outscale Godzilla by 200 feet. No other monster is gonna be a flying apocalypse. Wherever he goes, it's the end. This is it. They're blowing their load on this movie.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Or you can click here to become an E.T.N. patron. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.